What's up, nerds? I'm Wes on Rietburg Gaming. Today we're talking about the liberation of Rietburg from Cosmos Games. So this game takes place in the same universe as Legends of Andor, and that this is a very condensed down one specific adventure in that game. And I think the thematics are you're going to this place to fight this dragon that's in one of the, it's actually in the game. And you stop at this town at the foot of that mountain, and the town is overrun by monsters. So you and your party are going to try to liberate this town from the monsters. So you've got 6 different locations that you need to go to, and there's a quest at each location. And each quest gives you a condition, hey, do this thing to fulfill this quest. And you have to do said thing and then be at that quest and then complete the quest. And the quests are all different. Some of them are hey, have these 3 cards and discard them here for nothing to complete this quest. Some of them are, have killed off X number of this kind of monster, and so on and so forth. Some of them bring monsters back and you have to fight through those monsters again, and then the quest is complete. And I say again because each quest is covered up by its own deck of monsters that you have to go and defeat to get to said quest. And you can't complete the quest if there are still monsters at that location. And so you and your party are going around. Basically, the game is go around, kill a bunch of monsters, and then complete quests. There's 6 quests on the board. If you complete 4 of the quests, then you win. There's also a timer in the game in this narrator deck, and this kind of helps progress the story of the game. You make out 2 shadows in Wolfram's Forge. Which creatures are pursuing their nefarious deeds there? Add 2 face-down cards to location 2. And then, they're at the castle's outer tower. There's something there. Add 1 card to location 3. So, each card has a little bit of story on it that tries to, add some thematics into this game. It's really fun, the first 2 cards. And then you really stop reading those, and you're add some here, and so on and so forth. Depending on the level of difficulty is how many cards is in this deck. Once the deck runs out, then it's game over. Hopefully you've completed your quests by then. Monsters go out face down or face up, depending on what this deck says, because some of your abilities are to turn a monster face up. And it's finding the monster there, because you can't always find them. And if you can't find them, you can't fight them. So certain characters have abilities that let you turn monsters face up. Other characters have abilities that can actually turn them back face down again if for whatever reason you want them to be face down. But the really unique thing about this game is that every character plays a little bit differently, and every character has a hand of 3 cards except for Orin, which has a hand of 4 cards. But each of these cards has 3 different actions on it, and you get to choose which action you want to take when you play that card. So it's kind of multi-use cards, but it's not I could use them here for this or here for that. It's this card has 3 actions on it. You pick the one that you want to take. There's typically a fighting one, there's a moving one, and then there's a something else one, whether it's gather tokens or do a special ability. One person's card, their special ability is turning cards face down. One person's ability is to just discard a face down creature. So if there's a super hard guy that you don't think you can win, you can use one guy to turn him face down, one guy to take him out of the game, and that's essentially beating him. It's not exactly beating him, though, because when you actually do defeat a creature, they go off to the side to form a bank of creatures that you've defeated, because some creatures have money on them, and there's different in-game effects that you spend money on, quests or cards or whatever. And so once you've defeated them, you take that card and you put it in your bank, and then you can spend that card for money later on. Again, some of the quests also say have defeated X number of this type of creature, discard them to finish this quest. So that's the basic premise of the game. You also have these friend cards that you can get that you add to your hand, and they give you special abilities that you can do. And they also make your hand bigger, because when you play a card from your hand, it actually stays on the table until you take a refresh action. And it's when you take that action that you read the next card in the Narrator Deck. So the more cards you have in hand, obviously, the longer the game, the more time you have to finish the game and finish your quests, because there's less time. There's more time between each narrator card that gets read. And now you do read a narrator card every time a player refreshes. So like player 1 refreshes, player 2 refreshes, player 3 refreshes. That's 3 narrator cards back to back. All of a sudden you think you've cleared the board down, and it's overwhelming again. Overall, I thought this was a pretty okay co-op game. It's not my favorite co-op game of all time, but it's definitely fun. It's like small enough and light enough that almost anybody could play it, and because it's cooperative, like you're able to explain to your guests or your family or your grandma or Tom's mom, whoever's playing with you, you're able to kind of like coach them through what the best thing to do on their turn is. Now, don't go alpha gaming. Nobody likes that. But helping out in a co-op game is always a nice thing to do. I like the different attacks people have. Like one person has these spell books. One person has this like water spirit. Your dwarf has an axe that like, I guess it breaks and then you have to spend money to repair it. But like when it's broken, you can do like 1 damage with it. When it's fixed, you can do 4 damage with it. But every time you use it, when it's fixed, it becomes broken. So you have to like pay to re-energize that for a super big attack. The archer, like whenever you do an attack, you just flip over one of these tokens and that says how much damage that you do. So it could be 6, it could be 1. You never really know if you're gonna beat him, but it's an archer, so maybe you miss. Definitely a game that's worth checking out. If you love Legends of Andor, then you're probably going to get a lot more into the thematics and the story and the characters of this game than we did, because I haven't played that game before. But it's definitely a fun little co-op game. I'm happy to play it again, and if you want to check it out, there will be a purchase link underneath the like button down below, just above our link, where you can check out this awesome game topper, really elevate your gaming experience with a board game dedicated tabletop. Feel like a professional board gamer. Have super awesome mats to have. You can like stick your cards in the edge if you're too lazy to hold them. We love it. I think you'll love it too. Either way, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you'll never be bored.